Hello, it is Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Wednesday crossword, which means we're going to be solving a midweek, mid-difficulty edition of the New York Times Crossword, which means today's midweek, mid-difficulty edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Casey Brandt, Michael, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster, the inexplicable Chris Ward, and the indefinable Charlie Paget. Thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Self Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They do, of course, sustain this channel, keep it going day in, day out, and for that, I'm very grateful. Thank you to those 5. Thanks to everybody who supports the channel by way of the Patreon campaign. It really does keep this thing going, and so thank you. I appreciate those efforts. If you'd like to contribute in that way, you can head to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link where you'll find the bonus videos available to patrons. And for benefactors, like those I've just mentioned, the Let's Check the Crosses official mug. What else? You can also, of course, help the channel out by subscribing on YouTube. You can comment, like the videos if those things seem justified to you. And finally, you can join the Daily Solve Discord chat server, a nice friendly chat community linked in the description field. All right, let's get on to today's crossword by Parker Higgins, who's constructed a small handful of puzzles for the New York Times. It was edited, as always, by Will Shorts, and let's start solving. There will be a theme today. Let's find out what it is. Went by quickly. It flew. You could say the time flew. It went by quickly, maybe, or sped if someone physically went by you quickly. Partner of loose. Loose and easy or something, or you could play fast and loose with the rules. Fast would work with flew. I don't know. Let's look at this. Instrument depicted in Caravaggio's The Musicians. Oh, interesting. Wonder if I've seen this painting. Probably. What would it be? A lyre, maybe, or a harp? And I'm trying to think in 4 letters. Actually, lyre would be good because then that's all starting to make flew seem pretty good. We give it a flew there, fast and loose here, and then energy of a sort. Oh, this doesn't look very good, does it? Maybe it's not a lyre, but rather a lute. I bet that's what it is. Would that help with this? Energy of a sort. No, maybe it's none of these. Look for trouble. I don't know. Offers as a resignation. Tenders. You could tender your resignation. Sorry, I just need to take 1 sec for an answer a phone thing. Okay, sorry about that. I might be interrupted once or twice more, but hopefully not. Okay, anyway, so yes, you tender resignation, you offer it. So that worked with lute. Actually, that would work with lyre as well. What about this? Sportscaster Andrews. Evan, Aaron, Ewan. Suit in a tarot deck. Oh, wands? I think wands is a tarot suit. Oh, energy is aura. Ah, okay. You're sort of giving off a particular energy, a particular aura. So this is lute. Okay, good. This looks like Aaron, probably. Aaron Andrews. Okay. And then look for trouble is to... It's in italics, so it's related to the theme somehow. So it might be punny or in some way modified. What about this? Boat bottom. The keel is the bottom of a boat. So to look for trouble. Oh, maybe a look, a noun for trouble could be the stink eye. You give someone the stink eye, which could be maybe a look to start some trouble. Let's see. Question from someone who's lost. Where am I? Yes, that's right. Okay. When I first read this, I read it as a question from someone who has lost, as in has lost a game, but no, it's someone who is lost. Does some bailing. Hays? If you bail hay, are you said to be haying? Sorry, once more pause. Okay, back again. Sorry about that. Let's see. Does some bailings, right? So is that hays? It might be, actually. I've not heard that used in that way before, but who knew looks like the answer to this clue. So then does some bailing. I guess it is probably hays. Possessed. If someone possessed something, they had it. And then Shelley's Ode to the West Wind, of course, the ode, the official poetic form of the New York Times crossword. Okay, so this is a new verb for me. I think I do some bailing. I hay. All right, so you put hay in bales. Okay, to put a name to someone or something would be to Label or... Oh, put a name to in the past. Could be past tense, so it could be labeled. That would work. And not densely packed, sparse, not densely packed, sorry, could be sparse. And let's see, what to do if you've heard this before. Stop me. Sorry, I do have to pause this again. I know this is ridiculous. Okay, that should be the last interruption. I'm very sorry about that. It was just urgent and could not be delayed. Here we have blank à blank. So that looks like French with that accented A. So tête à tête, head to head. All right, expressed some abject admiration. Ood, maybe, like ood and odd? I'm not sure that's right, but let's try it and see. Illinois city whose name serves as shorthand for mainstream taste. Right, this is a sort of U.S. political coverage clue. People might say something like, sure, it's a good idea, but will it play in Peoria? I think Peoria, Illinois, it's something, it has some kind of, there was something about it where it was sort of deemed to be the average American something in some respect, in some year. I don't remember any of the details, but it's used to sort of generally refer to kind of mainstream America in political shorthand. Parthenon's place is Athens, Greece, of course, and then to move gently would be to ease something along. Kellogg's cereal with a frosted variety would be Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats. There we go. And then good for nothing. Good for nothing. A freebie, right, okay. So just as the stink eye, we had to think about this in a punny way. It's a look for trouble. Here we have, I guess it's a good, as in goods, like goods and services, for nothing, for free. You could also maybe think about it as it's a good example of nothing, in this case being nothing paid, but I think it's probably good as in goods and services. I think it's probably that. Okay, got on first, question mark. Got on first. Not sure. Stock market index, in brief, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, probably a U.S. stock market index. I see it now. Aha, you might say. Got on first. Oh, pre-boarded, like pre-boarded an aircraft, for instance. You got on before other people did. Went wrong, you erred, you made a mistake. And then to allow someone in would be to admit them. Spring forward result would be daylight savings time, right? So you spring forward for daylight savings time, spring back to standard time. Okay, brand of cooler. Oh, Yeti makes insulated cooler boxes and things. Beam from a sci-fi shooter could be a ray, like from a ray gun. Oops. Yeah, that was right. C38 across, which says, with 40 across, open for business. Oh, and this is in italics, so it's open for business. So we're looking for another way of interpreting open. Is it as a noun or does that not matter? I'm not sure. What about this? Alternative to rep or ind, so this is Republican or independent. So this is referring to U.S. kind of political party designations, so probably Dem for Democrat. And then, what is this? Open for business. Overly abundant is fulsome. Mass transit vehicle could be a bus. A bus is an example of mass transit vehicle. And then to plead with someone is to beg for something. Gig makeup, question mark. Right, so you read this and you think it means the makeup you'd wear for a gig, for a performance, but no, it's the makeup, it's the kind of what comprises what a gigabyte comprises. It comprises a number of megabytes, so the gig makeup is mega. Okay, so overly abundant. Oh, no, it's not mega, it's megs. Sorry, gig and megs. And so this is fulsome, which is what I wanted it to be. Great. Okay, vertex of an infamous triangle. Oh, the Bermuda Triangle, which is said to be, have some sort of supernatural quality that causes ships and aircraft to get lost, that kind of thing. Okay. Um, oh, something sir or madam, this looks like. So what was this? Open for business. Oh, is it an opening of a business letter? Dear sir or madam. I bet it's that. Okay. So it's the guess. I guess it's the open is it's a bit odd to use as the sort of salutation of a letter, but I see what it's getting at. So it's the opening of of a letter for the purpose of a business. There might be a better way to read that in the context of this pun. But there we go. I'm confident it's the answer. San Diego Pro, right. So the San Diego Padres is the local baseball team. And then Nova Error. So Nova is a science program that airs on PBS, the public broadcasting system in the United States. If one digs out of a hole, maybe, I'm not sure. West Coast gas brand, Arco. I think this came up just a couple weeks ago. Digs out of a hole, maybe. If you dig someone out of a hole, you give them a break? I'm not sure. You help them in some way, or you save them. Let's see. Hyenas and raccoons for 2. Hyenas and raccoons. What, they have... They both have sort of stripes? Mine find. You might find ore in a mine. One who parties heavily. A rager, maybe? Someone who's, I guess you could be at a rager, or you could be a rager, I suppose. Many SAT takers, abbreviation. This is a standardized test used in the educational system. So what might this be? Seniors, probably. Final year students. Scholar could be a student. There we go. Maybe they're the one taking the SAT. Checks the age of. If you ID someone, you check their age for, alcohol or cigarette purchases or something like that. Performer who thinks inside the box could be a mime, so they might be miming being physically inside a box. Where you might dress up for a court appearance informally, ? So this doesn't necessarily mean what it would seem to be referencing because of the question mark. So what might it be instead? A court appearance. I mean, court could be, a Ren fair, a royal court. So a Renaissance fair. You might be dressed as a nobleman or a jester or something. Okay, winter coat could be, you could be wearing furs in the winter. Antacid brand could be Tums. I think that's some kind of antacid medication. Triangular pastries are samosas, maybe. There could be other possibilities for this, but that's the first one that comes to mind for me. Let's see. Parker House products. What is Parker House? I'm not sure. What about this? Flu symptom, ? It's flu with an E. So it's not the illness. It's a flu like in a chimney. So there could be soot. That could be the sort of symptom, I guess. All right. Church recess. The official liturgical architectural element. That's not the right word, but the clerical maybe would be the proper word for this. Anyway, it's the official church architectural element of the New York Times crossword, the apse. To appear a certain way would be to seem that way. Stanch would be to stem. If you sort of stem the flow, you stanch the flow of something. And Parker House products are what? Robes, rolls? Leave behind is to lose someone maybe who's following you. So, rolls. So it must be a bakery or something. And then to run for the hills is to... Oh, no, sorry. It's not to run for the hills. We're using run as a noun because it's our italicized punning theme clue here. It's a ski slope. It's a ski run in this case, for the hills. Twist as data would be to skew that data. And then, let's see, C63 down, which says common pronoun pair. So she and her would be a pair of pronouns. And then a source of Roquefort cheese would be a ewe, sheep's milk cheese. All right, well, there we go. So let's finish this off. To scrape by could be to eke by, to just make it. And if one digs out of a hole, one breaks out or breaks away, digs out of a hole maybe. It's funny because this is almost phrased like one of these theme clues, where if this were italicized, you could imagine digs being someone's home built into a hole or something like that. But I don't think it is that. But maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's not part of the theme. Hyenas and raccoons for 2. They're, scavengers. Oh, it's not rager, it's a raver. Okay, so maybe you're a raver at a rager, perhaps. Or you're just at a rave. Okay, well, there we go. So this is hyenas and raccoons are scavengers. And then show where the term Debbie Downer originated in brief. Oh, I didn't know it actually originated on SNL, but it must have based on this clue. All right, mess kitchen implement would be what? Mess kitchen implement. So does it mean a mess like a military kitchen, or does that not matter? I don't know. Okay, media clutter. CDs, I guess. I mean, CDs are media in the sense that they're a storage medium, and they could just be, you could just have too many of them lying around, I guess. No, that doesn't look right. Okay. Media clutter, ads, maybe? You're reading a story in the media and there are too many ads. I don't know. Spoils. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, spoils has a few different meanings, so I'm not sure. We'll come back to it. Fit for a king, regalia. There we go. So once again, we're reading fit not as an adjective, which is how it seems to be used in this phrase, but in fact, it's a noun. It's well, is it fit? Fit. Can you use fit as a noun to mean sort of clothing? And so you must be able to. That must be the case, because this is certainly regalia, which is also a noun. So I think that's right. So this means, regal clothing. I mean, that king bit makes me sure this is the answer. But let's double check. Mr. Robot actor Malik. There we go. I've not seen this, but I do know it is Rami Malek. Fashion photographer Richard. This seems kind of familiar, but I don't know offhand. Popular wine from Bordeaux. Is a Merlot from Bordeaux? Maybe. Let's try it and see. I think so. I mean, it seems like it must fit. Spots for Hawaii and Alaska often. In a map, those are often inset little bits that allow them to be depicted closer to the contiguous 48 United States. Digs out of a hole, maybe. Breaks even. Right. Okay, so you dig yourself out of a financial hole. I was thinking of it more of just being in a difficult situation generally, but that wasn't specific enough. So the mess kitchen implement must be a ladle, a soup ladle. There we go. That's what it is. And then spoils. Oh, the spoils of war, for instance, loot. Oh, Richard Avedon. That does sound familiar. Does that work with this? Spoils. Yes, okay. You spoil something, you taint it. So spoils. Oops. So spoils is taints. There we go. Okay, so then this was ads, the media clutter after all. All right, well, there we go. I apologize for all the interruptions. Hopefully that wasn't too disruptive during the to view. But let's see. So I don't think we had a revealer today, actually. No, I don't think we did. So we just had a number of these italicized sort of punny clues. So a look for trouble could be the stink eye. A good for nothing could be a freebie. An open for business could be dear sir or madam. Maybe, is there another way to read this? Yeah, you could say to open a letter for business. Maybe they're not all nouns. Maybe they're not. Maybe this is meant to be read as a verb. And, to open a letter for business. Maybe that's what it means. Someone let me know what they think about that. Anyway, open for business is dear sir or madam, one way or the other. We have fit for a king is regalia, and finally, a run for the hills is a ski slope. So there we go. We've got this punny recharacterizing of language by Parker Higgins for today's theme. And that was the Wednesday crossword. Hope you enjoyed it. I will endeavor to be less interrupted tomorrow for the Thursday puzzle, when the theme might be even more intricate and involved. So come back and find out. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Wednesday. Take care.